Yeah, maybe we should talk about money instead.
Yeah.
Or not. Or the weather.
Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah. Or educating your kids,
There you
which
go.
is important. Governor Ducey is expected to sign our state's nearly $10 billion budget later today or tomorrow.
Yeah, he has called this the education budget because it invests new money in both universities and K-12 schools.
So I had the chance to sit down with the governor exclusively to talk about some of the issues we face with educating our children here in Arizona. And I started with some studies that show us near the bottom of the country when it comes to class size and spending per student. When you talk about K through 12, I was looking at a Wallet Hub study that didn't paint the best picture for school spending. I know that's not always, a measure of success, but 50th in spending per student, 49th pupil to teacher ratio, and we're losing some good teachers. So there's a pay raise in this budget.
There's a dedicated pay raise in this budget. We have $160 million plus over and above inflation funding for K-12 education. We have $63 million for teacher salaries, about an average of $1,000 per teacher. If you've been around longer, you're going to get a larger raise.
Some of your critics, though, are saying a 2% raise is not going to get it done. $500 a year. How do you respond to that?
Well, I want our teachers to get larger raises as well, and many of them did get larger raises than that. That's just something that was the state's part of the commitment. The rest of those dollars are there for the principals and superintendents. They have the flexibility. I'm in these public schools a lot, and I'm out and about a lot. I've had a lot of teachers come up to me and say thank you for the raise I've gotten. For some of them, it's been 5 figures. But we have other teachers in our state that haven't gotten a raise. They've gotten 0.
So do you think teachers make enough money now?
Well, I want to see teachers make more. I want to see teachers make more. People don't go into teaching for the money, but they work incredibly hard. They make the biggest difference in a child's life in addition to their parents, and I want to see them rewarded for it.
So the governor says he's going to continue to fight to try to get more money going forward this way. But, both my kids had this great math teacher. I've told this story a couple of times. And he had a young family, and they just loved this guy. And he finally said to his class, he's like, look, I can't do this anymore. I've got a young family, and I'm not making enough money to support my family. So we're still losing good people.
Yeah, we are.
It's a tough problem, and I know that everybody's trying to work on it and make it better.
Yeah. Well, I guess at this point, it's as much as you can hope for is trying to make it better. But yeah, you hate to lose really good teachers.
Because they do have such a huge impact.
Huge.
Right?
Huge impact. And speaking of teacher, my first grade teacher, I just reconnected with just yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah, thanks to social media. Well, it was Miss Scott. Now she's Mrs. Courts, and she's still teaching to this day.
Really?
And she stumbled upon me on social media and reached out and said, is this you?
Proud of you?
Scotty's still got it in me. Yeah, so, I mean, talk about teachers that make a lasting impression. She's one of my very first vivid memories of school is being in her class.
Oh, isn't that great?
Yeah.
And then as you go through the process, I had a high school teacher that kind of changed the course of my life.
Yeah.
And then I had a college professor who totally changed the course of my life. So anyway, important. Thank you, teacher.
Yes.